over the last month, there has been a shift in the MVP race in the NBA, and it's the big two. The big two that this award has seemingly revolved around and gone through in the last few years here. It's James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo. They're back. They're back in the running for the MVP. And like we've seen in years past, the MVP has nothing to do with who the best player in the world is. It also seems to have nothing to do with who the most valuable player is to their team. The MVP should just be the award called put up good stats, play on a top 3 team in your conference, and play a lot of games. That's what the MVP award should be, because that's what it is. If you want to give the MVP award to the most valuable player every year, you'd give it to LeBron James every year. But it's not about that. If you want to give the MVP award to the best player every year, you give it to LeBron James every year. But it's not about that, which is dumb. Like that's why the MVP award to me is a joke. It's like who fucking cares? It seems like it's just full of narratives. That's it. You know what I mean? Like I'm a big James Harden fan, and so I'm if I want to create a narrative about why James Harden should be an MVP, I can just go on TikTok, make a dumbass video about why Harden should be MVP, and just literally hop on that narrative and ride it to fucking June or whatever the season ends, and be like, yeah, Harden should be MVP. The MVP awards, it's whack, it's weird, it's just carried with narratives, but sometimes narratives are fun. So why not talk about a little narrative in the MVP race right now? I'm not going to talk about LeBron, because to me, just mentioning LeBron as the MVP this year, given the criteria the MVP award seems to go around, is a joke and disrespectful to other players. But I do think LeBron is the most valuable player to his team right now, and I think he's the best player in the world. But there is a big two. The big two are back. Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo are back in the MVP race, and like it's one of those things where it's like, all right, here we fucking go again. Here we go again. Harden and Giannis. That's my prediction coming down the stretch of the year. Once again, it's going to be Harden versus Giannis in the MVP race. I just don't think Joel Embiid can keep this up. If Joel Embiid can keep this up, give him the MVP. GG. I mean, if the 76ers are a top seed at the end of the NBA season and Embiid's putting up fucking 30 and 15 a night, all right, I mean, give it to him. I don't think there shouldn't be any debate about that. But I just don't think he can do that, because what we've been seeing out of Joel Embiid over recently, this is the most consistent stretch of Joel Embiid's career. He's never been this consistent for this amount of time, ever in his career. So my odds are, I'm thinking that he won't be able to keep it up. But he's currently, for me, leading the way in the MVP award race right now. Number 2 is Giannis. At number 3, currently I've got Nikola Jokic. Like I said earlier, I think the Denver Nuggets are about to make a big push. I think they're going to have one of those things that the Utah Jazz had recently. They're going to win, 15 of the next 20 games, something like that. And I think then, we'll look at the Nuggets as the top 4 seed in the Western Conference. We're going to be like, all right, Nikola Jokic, he's balling out, and his team's doing really good. At number 4, I currently got James Harden. At number 5, Curry or LeBron, one of those two. 6 as well, Curry or LeBron. I got Damian Lillard down at 7. The main reason why, and Steph Curry would be top. He would be up there if his team wasn't 8th in the West, which is interesting because and it's hard to evaluate that. Like, oh, they're seeding the Western Conference, because the Warriors are 8th in the West, but if you put the Warriors in the East, they'd be like 3rd. So it's kind of tough to make those sort of arguments like that. But yeah, Harden and Giannis are trending up, and they're back. That's all I want to say about the MVP award race. That's my prediction. The MVP award race will come down to being between Harden and Giannis when it's all said and done. And I'm not saying that the race right now is between Harden and Giannis, but I think in 2 or 3 months from now, it's going to be like, all right, those two guys are balling out, unless Kevin Durant comes back, and then in which case we just can completely negate Harden from the MVP award race. But right now, let me have my moment. Every year, I love me some James Harden. Let me have my moment and try to ride this narrative out for as long as I can, okay? Harden, just let me have my fun. Fuck you. But I think the MVP, and like it is every year, the MVP between Harden and Giannis, and the NBA championship between LeBron and KD. That's how it is.